Hey, alright. Good evening, everyone. And now that I've been given 25 bits, I can wake up. Wait, is that how it works? I get bits, and now I start streaming? Maybe not. Okay, let's go. Hello, thanks for 25 bits in the host board, Misfit. Let's go. What? Uh-oh. Okay, looks like we're fine. I thought OBS was going to do it then, but I think we're okay. I think. So, yes, it's back to mapping again. You know, that thing I do. The mapping. Yep, I did indeed finish the demo of Graven. I had to play it. It turns out that actually I had played most of the demo. Well, just over half, I would say. The stuff that I got to see was there is a sort of boss fight against a big dude with a sword who killed me because he is hits very hard, and I tried to kill him with a sword and it didn't work too well, but I got him in the end. You also get a flail, which is metal as fuck, and it really gives zombies quickly, which is awesome. And you get a shotgun, which is basically just a bunch of barbs flung into like a bow, but it's essentially a shotgun. I also and then you get the second peat canister, and then you light the lighthouse, and then you go back and you have to deal with two more of those big giants. And then you go to the city, hand the quest in, and then the demo ends. So there was there was kind of a big sort of ambush at the final bit of the demo, but essentially most of what happened was shown last night. But regardless, I really liked it. It was very good, and I can't wait for the full game next year. It'll definitely be on my to play list when it comes out. I might even play it day one. You know, even though I've got all these other games to play, I was that impressed with Graven that I actually want to play it on the first day it comes out. So anyway, tonight we're gonna have some Ancient Aliens soundtrack, which is Stu Boy's stuff. So hope you like Ancient Aliens music. That'll be our choice of thing for the evening. For the record, I need to finish Heretic and Hexen. Oh, that's the deal, is it? I'm not allowed to do anything else. Hello, Kinikos. How's it going? Luckily tonight, the quality options only need to be reminded once to appear, and then they did. I also felt that Graven was taxing the computer a bit. I don't know if that had any impact on... What the... Are you serious? It's buffering. Why are you buffering? Oh, Jesus. It's actually buffering the video. That's weird. Okay. Please stop buffering. What the fuck? No, you oh, for God's sake. Let me reload it again. Right, stop buffering. Jeez. Buffet. Yeah. Trying to get some music going here. It's like buffering. No, YouTube, you can't have your advertisements. Funny thing about that is that in my job, they used to have a computer without... There we go, that's better. YouTube just being YouTube, I guess. Funny thing is, at work, they have internet without an ad blocker. And I got a chance to install ad block on it last week. This week just gone at some point, and it's like they're like amazed. It's like, whoa, holy shit, we can watch YouTube without ads now? Yeah, you can. Hello, geckos. Dan Camel said he wanted me to make music for his Doom map. Oh wow, you're being given commissions now, are you, Kinikos? That's cool. At some point, I'll need to decide what music I I need for my map. Well, that will come at the very last stage when the map's finished. Because then I can sort of go through the map and think, what would be good and fitting for a map that's about a warehouse and a bit of hell? You know, something appropriate. I just use canyon.mid. You reckon that'll work? I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I am just floating around like an idiot. Right, so for tonight's thing, the challenge is basically to finish this last room off. And it only just occurred to me... Yeah, I know what Canyon.mid is. It's a Win95 track. I think I can have it saved as a favourite. To be honest, we'll just sort of pause this for a minute. Yeah, it's this one, isn't it? Hey, Bridge. How's it going? For weak lost souls, if only. I mean, this is kind of an interesting choice-ish. It kind of provides that sort of weird office-y feel, but I'm not feeling it. Not quite. Gee, that red makes this a lot more stressful, let me tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see it working, to be honest. I still love that. Oh, got two Hell Knights. Bloody hell, Spectratron doesn't want to get stunned. Like, ever. don't see Canyon working, to be honest. Back to the Ancient Aliens. I kind of like the quirkiness it provides, but I think it's a bit too short as well. I need something that's about the 3 or 4 minute mark, I think. Something that is ideal for being played like twice or something, and then... Oh yeah, I love this reveal, it's so good. Really cool. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a corner camp challenge, but you gotta be careful with the, I mean, this would probably be really easy for a speedrunner to ignore it, but... Yeah, you could probably ignore these. I'll be kind of curious to see, actually, how a speedrunner goes about tackling this map, if they ever do. Like, the way that, Oh wow, onto the 5 minute mark just getting up here. Which is fine. Yeah, good. About 5 minute mark. And you got this room to come. Big. This room. So we have our 4 corners over here, which is one we work on first. I need to change the texture for that, I think. Oh, here's our little barren ambush. And then we have our pain elemental sandwich. To sort of add some extra chaos to the room, and then that's it. Caught by my own crusher, yeah. 7 minutes. Although that's with no blockades or anything. So that's the map as it stands right now. So the 2 things I need to work on is having this area have a few extra obstacles in it, and then the big finale, really. And I've realised that I'm going to have a bit of a problem with this because of the crushers. The crushers are a really nice room gimmick, but it does mess up the idea of having a big prepared final fight. You know, because most of the threats will be... I mean, it provides an interesting challenge of sorts, but I have to make sure that the challenge kind of incorporates the fact there's going to be a fast-moving wall. It's not like it's open where the player can see everything and they can shoot and deal with things. It's like they're going to have to wait for a crusher every few seconds. Yeah, I have Buddha mode on fully, so I'm actually... just to prevent death. I'm at the moment I'm sort of testing time rather than difficulty. I have beat my own map a few times already. I'm starting to wonder if these pain elementals are a bit sort of semi... Well, I guess they're not really cheap, because although they do fudge you, you don't have to use the rocket launch on them. You can sort of drop down and sort of deal with the carnage they provide. Yeah. So that's going to be the main issue, really. It's the fact that I can't really have necessarily a massive ground wave of enemies. Just that, because there's so many things in the way, but then the turreted enemies are also going to have to be slightly less effective at long range. It's going to be like there's going to be blockades to killing them and blockades to them being long range snipers as well, I guess. This is a situation where I just thought of the idea on a whim, and then afterwards I'm realizing this causes some problems for gameplay. And it does provide a distinct challenge, though, I guess, if done correctly. Like the fact the player has to wait for the crushers to get these ambushes out is nice, or the fact that you can't just snipe an enemy from halfway across the room. It's almost like the difficulty is going to be the enemies can only be effectively dealt with either peekabooing behind a crusher or going into the square of the room where they're at and then killing them. So I'm going to need a lot of enemies on box platforms. But I also need a ground force that is effective. It's going... One of my favourite tracks from Ancient Aliens, this. From Bad Medicine Men. Right, so... Hey, Foley, how you doing, by the way? So the first thing I need to do is do this area here. Now, to be honest with you, I don't think this is too complicated. I'm mainly going to have just a lot of barrels around to kind of be in the way a little bit. I actually did have an idea for this particular section. It goes something like this. You place 2 arch vials in ambush mode. You place a few barrels. Just a few barrels, not too many. Around where the player has to shoot. That way, the player has to shoot the barrels to get a clear shot at the fire blue box. When they shoot the fire blue box, they'll have to shoot the barrels, which will trigger the 2 vials to come out and then be a threat somehow. And because this is a really narrow sort of boxy area, the player's gonna have to like, well, kind of back out. But the good thing about this is that if the player triggers the arch vials like through a gap or whatever, the barrels keep the vials in where they're supposed to be. So the barrels are basically like a way of getting the vials to come out, but also keeping them in place, so that the player is forced to basically shoot the barrel to trigger the fire blue, but also the vials will then come out. I think this works. I'll just test it real quick. So it'll be like, yeah. So the vials cannot come out, and you can't. And I'd have to move that a little bit. But basically, you can't shoot the fire blue without detonating the barrels, I don't think. I will obviously have to place that barrel a little differently to prevent that snipe. That's the only, but yeah, any other time you have to like. I'd have to place a few barrels here, wouldn't I? I think. Because there are a few gaps the player can take. But yeah, then the idea would be you shoot the barrel, and then the vials are now coming out, now they're a threat, now you have to deal with them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to tweak it a little bit. Yeah, I need to basically bung up all the holes a bit. So that's why we'll place quite a few barrels. Just to make sure. Change the grid a little bit so we can snap it down. Yeah. That's not like this. Ah, there we go. That should plug all the gaps. Because the barrel's in the way there now. So that takes care of that. The 3 barrels are there. It's not designed to... I mean, it damages the vials a bit, but it also helps keep them in. And they're in ambush mode, so the player might not see them. So I think that's a really cool idea, you know. I mean, it's 2 vials, but you got a boxy area. They'll be a bit damaged, and you can sort of back out and kill them. I think that's a good idea. So that'll be like... I mean, I was going to do chain gunners at one point, but my main thing I was thinking is like, okay, but what if the player does it from long range? And if I use barrels to keep them penned in, there, now there's no way they can do it. Yeah, see? Now the player has no chance of doing this. Yeah. Because the player tries to do it here, they can't reach. I mean, okay, they can snipe the archvile from here if they want to. Fair enough, you know. If they want to chain gun the archvile there, fine, you do that. You can do it to both of them, really, but that means you'd have to be careful of not triggering the barrels, and you'd still have to deal with them. But yeah, now it's like you shoot them, do a bit of damage, and then it's like, oh shit, oh shit. And then you got 2 barrels in your face. Hey, Dan. So there we go. Perfect. That solves that. So now we really just want like a bunch of barrels just randomly located throughout this area, just to make a bit of clutter up. You know, just like completely at random. So it adds to the scenery a bit. You know. So yeah, now this area has barrels in the way that you may have to deal with. But you can also use to your advantage if you want. So then what we need is like a couple of... I'm thinking this will be mainly a good area for pinkies. Like nothing too meaty at this point, just like pinkies really. A few stealth pinkies and a good amount of enemies on top of these platforms. I think that'd be cool. In fact, I know what'd be cool. Oh god, this music's so good! Now I don't want this to be ambush players because it's going to be... Whoops. Not that one. Oh, this one will have to be... Yeah, yes, face north, buddy. Actually, no, I guess that makes sense for them to be facing the back like that. And then there you go, you've got a lot of imps on the platforms now. So going through this maze, you gotta be careful of receiving an imp fireball. as you sort of go through the maze as well. And as a sort of thematic point, I've put all the imps on brown boxes. And on these other boxes, we will place some former humans. For a bit of variety. I can't really think of any other enemy that would suit being on these platforms other than former humans. And the thing is, I don't want to give away a shotgun. That's the thing to bear in mind. I don't want to drop a shotgun to a player. That super shotgun is going to be like a key secret. And I don't want to give them a shotgun, I don't think. Or should I do that and or should I maybe give them the regular shotgun as a thing? Like, if they're all up on the... I mean... Nah, I don't really want to give them the shotgun, to be honest. I don't know if that will change much, but I really like the idea of the player having to switch between rockets and chain gun. For now. And an SSG being like not a secret, so... So then you have some former humans on the crates as well. Just a couple to sort of break it up a bit. Do you think I should do chain gunners instead? Can I get away with doing chain gunners since there's only a few of them? That will create some interesting stuff. Or would it be... I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the chain gunners will be a little mean, but there's only a few of them. Yeah, I don't want to do chain gunners for this bit. But then again, in my mass skirmish, I'm probably going to use a lot of pistol zombies. Is a thing. I mean, how many guys would there be? There'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There will be 6 chain gunners on this platform, and a lot of imps. I don't know if it would actually. I'm thinking the chain... I mean, keep in mind, the player's going to have cover that's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. But then again, I think you might be right. I think chain gunners for this might be a bit much. So I'll stick with the pistol zombies. That's the thing I have to bear in mind, you know. If the player wants to deal with them, they'd have to, like, rocket them and... Here you've got just a nice group of enemies. The pistol zombies can infight. Because that also works both ways. Like, there's no real... Unless I start putting more cover, which I may or may not do. If I put more cover around this fight later on, I might switch these back to chain gunners. But I think I'll keep them as pistol zombies, just to add a bit of variance. I can't think of anything else to put up there, is the thing. Like, do I put Hell Knights up there instead? Makes me kind of wish there was like another enemy that was sort of low tier, but was also a projectile slinger. Or something. Nah, I think this will be sufficient. You know, you've got all this easy fodder for the chain gun and the rocket launcher. You're going to be blowing them up mostly. And you got to deal with weaving through the maze and... You're not careful, you got to back out, and then Archviles might cause a bit of chaos. And then the vials can help if they want to, and do what we need to do, and stuff. Yeah, okay. I think it works. The enemies aren't really that hard to deal with individually. They're just there to provide an annoying presence. Nothing too complicated to deal with, and the player is going to be spending most of their time dealing with the meat of the initial fight. So this is just like, here's enemies. You know, I'm not feeling this though. I really, oh god. I guess it works though. It's just like a wall of annoying enemies that you may want to kill to safely navigate this area. We'll go with that. Alright, then we need a couple of ambush pinkies around in random spots just to be annoyingly ambushy. Randomly all over the place, here and there and everywhere, just to, you know, surprise the players a bit. I mean, there's a chance that these guys are probably gonna be like spotted. We'll get spotted early, but that's fine. A few random pinkies roaming around is all good. Just adds to the chaos, you know. And if not, maybe a couple will be a surprise to the player. It depends how, because this is open-ended, there's many ways that the players could approach this section. So some of these pinkies are going to be great ambushes, and some of them are just going to be completely pointless. But it's all part of the fun. So a couple of them just scattered here and there and everywhere, doing their thing, adding to the count. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 8 will be enough. I don't want too many, I don't think. I think 8's more than sufficient for this. Let's just see how that feels. So here we are, we've hopped in. Oh, and one of the pinkies is immediately coming at me. In fact, 2 of the pinkies are immediately coming at me. Well, that didn't really help. Ah, God. I think it's the pinkies on the radio. I think it's these 2. I think. Oh, I see the problem. This one can see the player immediately. I'll need to move that one. Although I could leave it like that and have it come out of the box area. Just, I mean, it will be behind a wall of enemies that will be around the player here when the fight starts. So I guess a few roaming pinkies won't hurt, but just delete it. I guess this one. I think the rest of these pinkies are all good. So let's just see what happens when we go in here. Okay, good. The rest of the pinkies are not coming out, so that's good. And it's like, oh no, there's some pinkies in there too, and I need to deal with them. Ah, blasted pinkies, and then maybe you might ambush 1 or 2, and then it's like, I need to deal with the annoying pinkies. Ugh. I mean, most likely they're just going to wander around and be very ineffectual, but it's designed to be irritating in the maze, so that you either clear it out, or if you try and rush it, you might get a bit buggered. Yeah, it's designed to be like a counter rusher. So like, you want to rush her and detonate the barrels, go ahead, but the pinkies might surprise you a bit. Yeah. I think this is fun. I think this works okay. I mean, it seems that most of the pinkies are going to be triggered randomly as the player moves around, but it looks like they're staying largely in the crate area, so I might just add an extra one here, maybe an extra one here as well, just 2 extra ones, just something in the way really, so the player can't just easily go over there and do what they need to do, sort of thing, you know. It's not meant to be like a sort of... Just checking again, pinkies are... Because the player will probably run around and scout it, and then the pinkies will be triggered, and then they're just pouring out anyway. Except for the odd one that might just remain in hiding and be a pain in the arse. Especially near the area where you need to do the barrel thing. So yeah, I think this works out okay for this bit. You know, it's nothing too difficult. It's just that you got a lot of enemies to possibly kill, and it's largely aimed with a few former humans, and then you've got this archvile trap that will be triggered when you detonate the box. So I think this works out just fine. And again, none of these individual traps are like too difficult to deal with. You know, this one it's just a case of lots of enemies on boxes, vials, and a few pinkies. This one is just 2 chain gunner windows and a nasty Baron ambush. Over here, it's just a case of killing the enemy. There'll be a few enemies on this stuff, which I'll be doing in a moment. And then it's just Kako Demon Surprise, and then Flyers, you know, which you can deal with in the rest of the room or whatever once you rush. And then here's just a case of ambush from the sides, you know. Okay. So with that, we have the 4 areas finished. Now the real fun begins. And that is, of course, doing the rest of the area. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Because the player is going to enter this room, and I want them to see a wall of enemies with their backs turned to the player. And I want the rest of the room to essentially be a giant sort of... It's basically a Rivik setup. You know, all players have their backs turned, there's a wall of enemies, you can plan a route, and then it just gets very chaotic. With crushers. With a fucking grid of crushers around. Oh jeez, what's this wall of text? Thanks to 125, Lord Misfit. So yay for fucking Discord idiots trying to steal my damn Steam account by pretending they accidentally reported my account and saying it'd be banned if I didn't talk to someone else. The fucker also used the AMC TC Discord to find me and trying to seem genuine. So yeah, if that person is somehow watching right now for some reason, your ass is lucky I didn't report you or expose your Steam name to everyone to shame into oblivion. TRDO, don't fuck with Lord Misfit. You want to mess with a guy who programmed the Furious? Hey, serious, Kakademon. The same type of Steam scammer tried doing it to Misfit. Oh, yeah, I had something like that. I just ignored him. Most scammers aren't very good. Well, that was one of the longer walls of text I've had for a bit here, so that was fun to read. That was almost getting into Player K territory there with that paragraph, Lord Misfit. Just need Rock King to do a voiceover now. That's alright, if you want to vent, you can vent. You know. You give me money, you get to vent. And sometimes install ventilation if you want. Oh, I don't need any ventilation. We're cool. Alright, hey, what if I had some vents? Ooh. Ventilation shafts. That could be interesting. Could I add some hellish ventilation shafts? What the hell was that? Enhanced rendering effects are enabled. What is enhanced rendering effects? Well, it makes the room slightly darker, whatever that is. I do have actually room in the architecture to add some vents if I wanted to. Maybe as decoration or a chance to spew some extra enemies or whatever. I don't know though. I mean, ventilation might be an idea, but we'll see. I mean, it won't take too much to add it if I felt it was necessary. Right, so, wow! Jesus. Full brightness is on, I'm now blind. Holy crap. Oh, there we go. Blinded by the light. didn't know there was a button for full brightness on a command. Cut that shit out. I mean, none of that. Right. No, I'm debating whether to give the Mega Spear to the player inside the room or before. Like, do I just put the Mega Spear on a little thing up here, perhaps? Hey, Doc Crimer. Well, if I get lucky, I might be finishing the fight in this room, because that's all that's left now. It's just the big final fight in here. I have just done this section over here, the fight in this section, which is going to be imps, former humans, a few stealth ambush pinkies, and 2 archviles next to the box for an ambush, which you'll have to trigger because the barrels are going to trigger the barrels. Now it's just the big fight that the player will see. Now, which is basically doing the rest of the room, because I think I'm kind of happy with this area of the room staying as is, mostly, because I think there's enough decoration with the tower here. I'm not so sure if I should add anything else to this bit to make this stand out. At least nothing too much. This box is fine, but this area doesn't need anything else. But there's like this gap, and this gap, and this gap, and a gap here. There's just a lot of empty space that needs a bit of filling. Okay, so I'm possibly thinking to keep this area sort of very minimal in terms of detailing in the way, so that the player can always see the giant door, perhaps. Like, I might add some stuff, but nothing like height obscuring, so that the player can see what they need to go for. That way they can also maybe see the pillars lower when they do the fire blue shooting or whatever. Also, thanks for following me yesterday, by the way, Duck Crime. I don't think I acknowledged your follow last night. So thank you for that. We're only 156 followers away from Sunder now. Yeah, you followed me last night. I checked. It was Masashio 3, and then it was yourself. I think? Oh wait, hold on. I definitely saw your name in the tab on Twitch somewhere. Maybe, was it last night? Let me have a look. Oh, wait a minute, it wasn't last night, so it would have been some other point, I guess. I know I saw your name in the follow thing anyway. I don't think Steamlabs does it for people who re-follow channels, so you won't have got a notification, that's probably why. But anyway. Okay, so I want to keep this area clean, mostly, because I want to see that. But these 3 areas definitely need something, as does this area. And it needs to be a little over here, but not too much, because this area is going to have the backpack in it. So it's mainly that, these 4 boxes. And something kind of distinct in the middle, maybe. So where the hell should I start? Alright, I think I'll give the Mega Spear to the player in the room beforehand, I guess. Wait, hold on a second. I've just realized, if I'm going to give the Mega Spear to the player, what's the point of this secret? Like, what would be the point of this secret if I'm going to give him a Mega Spear up here? Yeah, that secret would be kind of rendered pointless then. But then again, if I'm going to give him a Mega Spear in this room anyway, am I not making it pointless anyway, sort of? I may have to rethink that. Maybe I don't need... Yeah, maybe I should switch out what this is, perhaps. Okay, I got an idea. Can the players see that if they go into the room? Yeah, that works. Okay. Jumpers can't get either. Good. We'll make that the backpack then. And we'll switch this to a Mega Spear. Instead. Yeah, that works. And what we will do is I definitely want to give the player a Mega Spear at the beginning of this fight, I think. So I will place a Mega Spear up here as well. And what I can actually do here to add a bit of interest, I guess, is can make the grid back to 16 at this point. Bear with me. Hello, Guru Experto. How are you doing? Can we make it some whites on this one, maybe? Ooh, that works out nicely, actually. Get out of the way, you. Silly thing. And then these can have like a... Oh, God, that would be great if they... No, I didn't think that was going to work. Oh, well. Yeah, I could just do like that, and then put the thing on top of one of them. Like that, and then move the sector a little bit. That has it, so it looks like it's a power-up display or something. I dream of the day someone rewrites Doom Builder in Portable. Yeah, that's cool. So then you've got like the Mega Spear power-up thing here. But what I could do here is... Oh, I wish there was a darker light I could use. Nah, that doesn't really work. I think we should just leave it at that. Yeah, that looks okay, I think. You know, it implies that these are like the stockpile Mega Spears that you use for, and there's only one left, so there you go. Additionally, can the player also see that from up there? No, they have to go up and get it. And then you can go down and get the backpack. And I won't provide another backpack, so if you want the extra ammo, you gotta get that secret. Yeah, this works. That way the player is getting a little nervous because if I'm giving them a Mega Spear, that means trouble's coming. And then I can just have them sort of look around the situation and see what they need to do for the big ambush. Or whatever. So it's like, ooh, yeah. Nicely placed on top. And I'm going to teleport onto the pad and they'll see monsters all around them. And all kinds of things. And then... Such a big fight to do in here. There's going to be like a lot of things. Alright. So, one thing I was thinking of having was having like 4 cyber demons that just roam around a bit. which you can't really deal with too quickly. And while they might infight quite a bit, they are still going to be stomping around and causing problems. That's the main thing I'd like to have with this. 4 cyber demons that are immediately a threat, that's a sustained threat. But where to place them? I don't want to place them close to the player in the initial bit, because the idea of the initial bit is going to be like, they have a rocket launcher and a chain gun. They're going to use the rockets to sort of create an initial path out of the ambush they're about to be plonked into. And then the cyber demons will infight and probably be annoying, but they will be a big menacing presence and you can't ignore. And because you don't have the best of weapons, you can't kill them too quickly either unless you commit to it. With this in mind, I probably need to move this sector a little more closer to the middle for this part. Little closer to the middle. That'll do. What kind of map will it be? Just squares? Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the thing I was going for. Like, if I gave the player a plasma gun, they would deal with them quickly. I mean, that might be fine, but I kind of like the idea of, well, you have rockets and chain gun only, and an SSG if you got the secret. I guess I could occasionally drop a few shells in areas. Not many, though, but a couple of shells. So the player has that option too, but not a lot of that option. No, let's not do that. I'm not. This is Ultimate Doom Builder, Doc Crimer. No, I don't want to get the player a plasma rifle. Is the thing. I'm kind of being stubborn. I'm not a BFG either. I want the player to deal with a mass situation with mainly rockets, to be honest, and occasionally a chain gun. I mean, I guess I'm not that good enough to sort of create situations where a chain gun will be more preferable to a rocket, but I mean, there'll be a few, you know, like something's in your face you want to get past, but it's mainly going to be the rocket launcher carrying the fight here. So I need to have something that will go with that. I could add a secret with a PR and a few cells. I actually have an idea for what I might do with that. But I need to create the fight first. Ah, that's a good idea, Misfit. Yes, put the ammo on the crusher floors. That is a really good idea. It also means that the ammo is always visually distinctive and sticks out. Yeah, I could put like the health in the corners and the rockets on the side, and then there's always a gap, and I like that idea. Yeah, really like that. Ooh, yes, perfect. It's very symmetrical, granted, but I like it. Ow, yeah. Yeah, okay, I know I should copy. Copy. Coffee. There we go. Lots of health around the pillars. On all 4 corners, and then give a shitload of rocket ammo as well. I think rockets are going to be the main one, because that's probably what the player's going to use mostly anyway. But yeah, you could do like like little clusters of rocket ammo and stuff like that, but you gotta go on the crushers to get them. Sort of thing, you know. I love this. This is a great OST. Listening to this soundtrack independently of the actual Ancient Aliens, this is a good OST. I gotta say. I'm tempted to submit an idea for a playtest thing that's not mine. I just saw Decino play it today. You don't get how it works. How what works, Doc? What is it that you're struggling with? Oh, Ultimate Doom Builder. Oh, right. Basically, Ultimate Doom Builder, it used to be GZ Doom Builder, but they just renamed it and stopped. Because I used to wonder where all the updates went for GZ Doom Builder, and then it's where... Nah, they just changed the name of it. This map, one map, and uses GZ Doom code. I think we should just put them out like that and have them be like all over the crushers here, so the player has a lot of choice in. You know, it's kind of, it is very symmetrical, but it's also you know, it's the player also knows where they can get all the good stuff. You know, they have to go on the crushers and stuff. And I also don't want any forced ammo pickups, so it's like they gotta pick particular sides, I guess. I'm sort of doing this before I even place anything down, but I guess I figure the player's going to need a lot of ammo for this earlier. So I guess there's no harm in placing. So that's what, 40 rockets per side. Oh yeah, of course, I'm going to put bullet boxes down. The bullet boxes are going to be like in the middle, so it's a little different. Yeah, of course there'll be some bullet boxes. No, not that. No, undo that. No, that. Yes. Yes, there is, in the secret. The one that the player should get, really. There we go. So you have a good chunk of ammo and stuff, and you have to go on the crushers to get it. Well, I've changed it to being on this secret. What was the Soul Sphere is now a backpack, and that's the only. And what was the backpack is now a Mega Spear. So. Yeah, I quite like the idea of having the most of the ammo. I mean, I'm not going to put down as many bullet boxes because I don't anticipate players using that too much. And also, in a mass fight scenario, chain gunner isn't going to be massively useful compared to a rocket. So that's what, 40, 80, 160, 40, 320 rockets. And 800 bullets in the middle. He lives! Holy shit, it's Naza! He's not dead. He is in fact alive. Oh, welcome. Welcome, Naza. Wish you'd been around yesterday. We're good to see you. Pick a bone. There will be no bones being picked. Wait, why is that? Whatever. Why? Oh yeah, because of this box. Duh. I mean, if there is anything about that, it's legitimately querying, you know. As the current proprietor of the Iron Man League, I've mentioned my concerns in the thread after last night's stream, and Derek has done the same. You know. Oh. And thank you for the tier 1 sub, War Snail 2. Much appreciated. You can now use my free emotes. Ain't much, but Merry Christmas P. Hey, every sub helps, War Snail. And Merry Christmas to you too. And I'm getting excited for the fact that it's the last week at work this week, and then I'm off for 2 weeks for Christmas. I can't wait. I can't wait to get drunk on many nights and do weird shit. Well, thank you, War Snail. Yeah. Been working for 6 weeks. This will be the 7th, and it's going to be good. You know, I'm going to be in a new class next term. They are switching me over from a different class, but the class that I'm going to be moving into seems a bit nicer, so I think it's a slight upgrade for me. And thank you for the gifted sub to Naza, World Misfit. Yes, the sub. It means you can use the free unique emotes on any channel you want. They were created by Fuzzball Renekitty, Dying Camel, and Tourniquet, respectively. And there's actually room for 2 more, if anyone wants to make them. If they don't, that's fine, we have more than enough. There's no rush, but there are 2 more slots free. And hello to Sir Johnnymus. Yeah, 2 weeks. It is nice. It is very nice. I mean, technically, I actually would have finished on Wednesday, sort of. But I'll be in another class, and there's a bit of complications over parents pulling their kids out of school a day or so early or something like that. You know, I think they've said, like, you can have kids out on the Friday or something if you want to, so maybe I finish on Thursday, I don't know. I guess I'll find out if we're going to stick to the full days tomorrow during the meeting, and I won't bore you with work stuff too much. Shut up, War Snail. You would remember that bloody Hogs of War, you fucking War Snail. Yeah, I'm a teaching assistant, War Snail, absolutely. Sorry, so, yes, Naza, since you are actually here, I have to ask, what the fuck has happened to the Iron Man Week consistency, Naza? We are very concerned about your inability to get a thread out on time, and this has happened in the last 5 months. After July, where you've been very good, and you had every thread out on the 1st, you have had 5 months from August to this one, where on 3 occasions the thread was out a day or a few days into the month, and on 2 occasions, including this month and October, you had Rufy and Reaper make the thread for you 10 days into the month. Having been a fan of the Iron Man League for its entire duration, having participated in all 53 of them, I am very concerned about this consistency, but more importantly, I am very concerned about you. And I want to know what is happening. Are you losing interest in the league? Are you busy? And if either of those things are true, could you please let someone else take over? Yeah, it's true, War Snail. Going for over 10 years has its benefits, I guess. Because as a live streamer or whatever, content creator, whatever you want to call it, I kind of like the consistency of knowing on the first day of each month what the Iron Man week is going to be, so I can plan how long it might take, especially if it's something I already know. So is it a chance does the run last a few hours? Is it a hard WOD where it might last 10 minutes kind of thing? You know, now it was 3 different things out. You know, I like to plan ahead of time, which is why I like the fight came out on the first. You know? Never mind the fact that it's nice to know that it actually is still going ahead, so... Do I add more rockets to this area? Or is this going to be enough? 320 and 800 bullets. I'm trying to decide if this is enough ammo or not, to be honest. 320 rockets scattered across the area. I think this will probably be enough for now. I may have to tweak this a bit, so we'll leave that. Maybe we'll add some stuff on the sides here as well. Like, should I add some stim packs maybe on the sides? You know, so the player has stim packs and stuff like that. Hey, Bread Bun Bun, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, we'll add some stim packs on the sides here. Whee! How nicely arranged they are. Now I can just stick them down like this. Boink. Symmetrical as fuck, yes. That's fine. I'm not going for variety here. This is just a big slaughter box. I'm more than happy to be symmetrical in this particular regard. I guess here we can rotate them to the side. Ooh. Also, hi, Yugi boy. It's not so common to see someone mapping on Twitch. Yeah, it's not. It does happen with some people. Bridgeburner does a lot of mapping on stream. And you do, but I agree it's not massively common. Not a lot of people map on stream. They tend to do it off stream. But people do. Alright, so we have stim packs on all the sides there. I think that's fair. I think health's going to be the main thing on the sides. And we can place a few more rockets and things on the crushers around every so often. Yeah, I think you two are the more consistent ones. Mainly speed. Sometimes mapping comes up when people do speed map sessions. Like if there's a speed map event going on, you'll see a few people map, but I think he scared him off because he ain't here anymore. No, Naza goes by the name of that DW Naza. Maybe he's just typing his response. But I really want a response. I'm not trying to be mean to Naza. I'm not saying... I'm just worried that, you know... If you genuinely have lost interest for the Iron Man League, that's fine. Let someone else take over. There are people willing to do that. The Iron Man League hasn't died or anything. There are people who will happily do it. I'll happily do it for a month. If I get shown 1 or 2 things, if necessary. Oh. He's not in the view list. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I didn't intend to scare him off. My intention was just to find out what's happening. Come back, Naza. Come back! Don't hide away! There will be no shame if you just don't want to do it anymore. Just let us know. We just want to know that the league's not going to die every month and it's going to take days for it to come out. We just want to have fun. Alright, you're looking at the normie list. He could be invisible. He is indeed here. Yeah, it's like, oh no, I've been called out by Suitepee. What do I do? Why don't you try running it for 12 months then, Mr. Suitepee, and see how you get on? Great. Because if that is the case, there's 2 map sets that would immediately be picked. Fuck it, there's at least 4 that I'd pick. You fuckers would be playing Going Down 1 month, and that would be the first choice. You'll play Going Down, god damn it. No, seriously, if I ever got a month to the league, I would pick Going Down, 100%. I think Going Down would be a fantastic Iron Man. It's difficult, yes, but I think it's just too good to pass. Oh, I read your post and I agree with you, so I'm leaving the community as I never did something good to it except fail my responsibility. But I always remember you because you were the first to point my maps and full of encouragement. What? Okay, I have to pause the music for that. No, there's not a go. Well, there's elevator, can you guess? No, Naza! No! No! Don't do that, please! Oh god, no, Naza, that's not the intent. Holy shit. No! No, that was not my intent, man. Dude, don't do that, please. Please don't do that. We don't want you to leave. You never failed your responsibility. Oh, that made me upset. It made... God damn it, that's not my intention, god damn it. Ugh. I'm trying to encourage people, not discourage them. Oh, jeez. Please don't leave the community. You never failed your responsibility. You did the Iron Man Week well for months. And it's not like it's a super serious thing. I just want the league to continue. That's all. If you don't want to do it anymore, that's perfectly reasonable. It's only a fun little thing at the end of the day. You don't have to lead the community over it. Just let someone else take over and carry on doing what you want to do. You know, no one's attacking you here. This isn't me and Derek and the others saying Naza is a piece of shit and we want him to fucking... we're saying we just want to know what's going on in general, you know. We want, like... For the first 7 months of the year, you got the thread out on time, you know, and it just stopped happening and we're like, is something happening here? Is Naza okay? My primary concern is that you were alright, honestly, because you were... Sometimes not the most... Well, I think you were communicating, but I never saw some of it. But, no. Please don't leave the community. God damn it. Not because of that, at least. I mean, if you want to stop doing the Iron Man League, that's perfectly fine. Someone else will take over. And you will be remembered as a fine project leader for the Iron Man League. It's not a problem. But for the love of God, please do not fucking just leave because of this. It's not really, what I intended. At all, actually. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, this is awkward. That was very much not my intention. No, not even remotely. I don't want to discourage people like that. Are you still there, Naza? I hope you haven't left. But... yeah, the map does look nice, I agree. But, no, oh yes, Lord Misfit, that's the awkward part. You telling that hacker off, sorry, scammer off. Oh, okay. Nah, but I'm dead serious, you know, I mean, I really don't want to sort of push you out. There's no need to be pushed out. It's not that. Dude, it's not remotely bad at all. You know, it's just a fun little thing that... You know, you shouldn't feel any sort of, actually, I should really... No way, I can't do that because it'll fuck up the... I could have put a little tiny indent, but I think it'll fuck up the texture or something. Jesus Christ. I really hope I haven't just pushed Naza out the Doom community by accident. Well, this brought the stream to a grinding halt. Yeah, Old Misfit track was trying to be scammed. It didn't work though. Lucky for him. But yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed the maps you've done, Naza. You know, I think you should keep going. You know, don't let the I mean, if the Iron Man League is, you know, something you're struggling to get out each month, that's perfectly fine if you just don't want to do it anymore. No one's going to really mind if someone else takes over. You know, and your tenure won't be seen as a failure. Not at all. And it's not your and the Iron Man League isn't dead because of your tenure either. It's not, and it's not dead anyway. It's not dying either. It's just, as I said, I've done it for 4.5 years, and most of those months, it does come out on the 1st, and you know that gives players time to prepare for it, and that stuff is important. But it was also, and I have said this. And my main concern was, at times, you know, is Naza okay? You know, is there a personal reason why you're not getting the thread out every month on, like, is there something happening? Because if you're busy, you know. But please don't leave the community. Because of all this, it's totally not worth doing that. You know, unless you are just busy with other stuff. But don't think you're a failure, man. Because you're not. Oh jeez. Fuck, I don't know what to say. That's my genuine thoughts. I'm a bit shocked that that's what you've said that, actually. I'm almost tempted to play some sad music. Almost. Jesus Christ, what have I done? Have I just pushed someone out the community by accident? Try to play a new Nopano thing. I don't feel happy continuing anymore. Unless Naza responds, to be honest. I feel really bad now. I feel like I've just booted someone out the community for no reason. And I feel kind of bad. Not your fault. I've been thinking about stopping for a while. Your reply just kind of summed it up well. I lack responsibility, and I don't want you getting me more worried, so just continue the stream. Sorry. Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. I mean, you've been thinking about it for a while, and you want to take a break or something, or you're just moving on or whatever, but that's perfectly fine. But I want to genuinely mention that my intent is not to fucking besmirch you or say that you've what's the word? I'm not saying that what you've done is bad. It's just a fun little thing. That's all. But yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, I guess I feel okay about that. I just... No, I mean, you know, if that's the way you feel and you want to take a break, fine. That's fine. Just you've let people know, and then that way we can go, okay, someone else can take over the week next month, and then we can just carry on, and, you know, you can do what you need to do, and maybe you'll come back and make some more maps and be around the community when you're less busy and stuff. I understand you've been busy. It's just the fact that, you know, you were consistent for the first 7 months, and then suddenly it's been like a difference, and then it's like, oh, I guess something well, things have changed, and, you know, fair enough. Okay, you know, but I'm not pointing any of this out to kind of say, you know, fuck Naza, we don't want him around. It's more like, is Naza okay? What's going on with the future of the league? You know, is he alright? And clearly you feel that you need a breather, fair enough, you know. So, you know, I still remember fondly your ward project from a few years ago and how you were trying to make a mega ward, and, you know, you've made a few decent maps, so hopefully you'll come back, but I understand that you want to take a breather. And that's fine. Let people know on the thread. You know, the Iron Man Week, say like, okay, I'm just going to take a break, someone else can run it. And there'll be people queuing up to run it. You know, it could even be part of the gimmick of the actual Iron Man Week, a different person every month, maybe. So there's all kinds of picks and choices. But, yeah. Just... Yes, it's okay. Now, please map. It's what this stream is about. Sorry for making it about me if anyone watching. Nah, this is the kind of closure we needed. I mean... I'm kind of glad you've shown up and sort of put an end to this, because now I know what the deal is, and now it's like, okay. So, yes, we will resume the mapping now. We've taken care of that little bit of unpleasant business, but I'm just, as long as you're happy, that's the main thing, you know. I hope you're alright. You know. I mean, I sometimes get a little dramatic with my criticism, but I am trying to be constructive at the end of the day. I'm not trying to be mean. You know. Okay, so anyway, thank you for that, Naza. And thank you for putting some closure on that. Now we're all good. Duke Nukem news. Just saw something about some guy that worked on DNF started banning people for mentioning it. So, what else should I put around the sides here? More ammo, I guess? Got plenty of health in the middle, I think. On the side. Excuse me. I think I need to put down some armor somewhere. Not sure where, though. George Broussard, who ran most of the development. What? How does he get people banned on... Don't you mean he was just blocking people on Twitter who were mentioned it? You can't ban people on Twitter for mentioning a game. At least not yet. I was gonna say, you know, that'd be quite incredible to have Jack Dorsey's ear like that. People are talking about that piece of shit that came out 10 years ago, Jack. Please ban them from mentioning it ever again. Yours sincerely, Randy Pitchford. I mean, George Broussard. Anyway, so I need some extra... Do I just put all the ammo in the middle here? I'm debating whether or not I leave all the ammo in the middle and put scraps on the outside. So the player is forced to go back in the middle if they want to resupply. That could be a way of sort of controlling part of the level. Force the player to go back into the middle if they want stuff. Or whatever. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this this middle area be like a sort of the supply area as such, kind of. So not too busy in the middle here, but still have a few little things here and there, so that the player can. I think that's the thing I want to encourage, right? If the player wants to get supplies, they have to go back in the middle. Or across these crushers around the middle. Or whatever. You know, you have to sort of trend towards the middle of the room and the crushers. So I go to 16. 4 mega spears are locked out, but when the Sabian spawn in, they are available for grabs. Hey, flat guy, how's it going? Nah, I don't know. Just trying to think of how to range this up, actually. Okay, as far as I can tell, the monsters will need to be here, 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 and here, mostly. Because that's where the player's going to see. I mean, there will be some enemies around these corners, but most of the initial enemies will be, like, here. And these areas are going to be more like... This is kind of where I have a bit of a problem. There's a reason for the player to go over here. There's a reason for the player to go over there. There's a reason for the player to go over there. But what the fuck do I do with this area? I need some kind of a hook to this area, maybe, or something. A spider. What, you reckon it could be like a spider cage or something? Giant spider cage? That might infight with the cyber demons and cause a bit of chaos? Yeah, I mean, I was thinking to do something similar to have like more cages like this, like what the spider had. Kind of. Didn't I want to raise a sector here? Maybe put a pit or depression in that last area. Now, the thing was, Sir Johnnymus, I was thinking of doing that as one of the ideas for a fire blue box. Which would be... wait a minute. I don't know. Nah. I was almost thinking to add another fire blue box. So we have 5, but I think 4's enough. Yeah, we could put a pit, couldn't we? Of some sort. Maybe a... trying to think what to do. An idea has just popped into my head. I think. Wait, hold on a second. No, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. A Hunger Games superstar playing Among Us right now. But my real joke what I did was a Stars turning forward Mastermind's reaction with BFGs and backpacks everywhere. Depends what you're after, Doc Kramer. I want to create some mid-text here. Right, to make a big sort of cage sort of thing, I guess. Or like a very tiny nudge up. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. I just need to raise this sector slightly. Doesn't matter, it looks like I'm there. It needs to be 24 high, doesn't it, to prevent the player from going over. So 1, 2, 3. So that's the highest it needs to be. So then I need something basey to go around that would suit. Starten. And then the floor needs to be rusty metal, perhaps. Oh, that could work. Maybe. Nah, maybe not. Does feel a bit weird having it be a grey thing like that. That's not gonna work. Oh, that could do it. Maybe. And the idea I have with this area is basically that there's a lot of flying enemies that are gonna come pouring out of it. You could say a Kako swarm might be emerging from this pit. That would be an interesting threat for the player to have to deal with. Or the crushers to squish forever. The Rusty one support 3. What, this one you mean? Yeah, I guess that works. Okay, we'll do that then. Could the player actually accidentally run onto that though? Let's find out. I'm gonna test something. Oh wow, they could actually run onto that. Oops. I don't want it to be too high though. Maybe I could make it impassable. Or do I encourage that on purpose? Nah. If I wanted to do that, I should have had it be one of the locations of the firebuoy boxes. Yeah, I was gonna say, if it's impassable, the monsters won't be able to escape. So I'll just raise it a bit higher. And that should do the trick. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's too... I mean, okay, fine, you want to jump down the pit? I'll put a teleport down there in case you get stuck down here or arch-filed into the pit. Or whatever. I don't want it to be too high. So it gives the monsters a chance to show up or whatever. You could also move it a bit back from the edge of the crusher perhaps if you don't wish to raise it. There you go, so. How's it going? We are just trying to sort out the final fight in the final room. We have managed to finally get this corner done. Oh, wait, Snakey. We are now just figuring out how to compose the final big initial skirmish that the player is going to be in. Which is probably going to be the trickiest part, because it's a big sort of fight I have in mind. So... I mean, the player wants to jump down here, fine. I can't really account for that, but... yeah, I think that works okay. It's like just a big pit that is representing it as wants a lift or something. And I'll put something in the corner over here that will draw the player over if they want to come here. Yeah, I think this is okay. Like, it's not really, like, it just adds something to the room. It's not really an area that a player may go to, but it's just to add to the room's roominess, if you will. Trying to decide whether I have bloodfalls still occur, or if I should make it more of a metal pit to suit the room a bit, you know. Do I make this still body on the side, or do I change this to a more metal thing, since it might be unaffected by the blood of the room or whatever? I'm thinking just to make it sort of like an ordinary lift sort of thing, really, you know. Like, hellish background, but everything else is tech-based, warehousey, so... It would be fitting that this would just be a lift. Just to look like an ordinary lift, basically. Could still make the floor bloody, I guess, because... yeah, I guess the blood is fine or whatever. Maybe? Especially since the alternative is that shit, which looks weird. Yeah, I guess that looks okay. Yeah, that'll do. That's a decent choice there, and then the ground can be... the ground could be lava. No, actually, the ground can be this red rock sort of thing. That works. The ground could be this red rock. Alright, now what the hell should I put over here? Do I put anything over here? Why, to be honest with you, I could just put a shitload of crates around here and make this an area you don't go to. Just have it be a corner of the room where they rise from the ground. You know, not intending for the player to go around this area, and also acting as a bit of a blocker to a traditional circle strafe. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put boxes here, so the player doesn't come in this corner. This is just like a giant congested lift or whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do. You could add a platform in the corner with a mastermind on it and such. Boom, there we go. And then we just chuck a load of these around. No, not that. Oops, don't do that. So the idea would be that this is going to be inaccessible, there's just a lot of boxes in the way, sort of thing, you know. Just, you know, it's boxes. It's not very exciting. You don't really want to go in this area. It's just a load of boxes. Also, with this setup, I can have more enemies on top of it if I wanted to. Ah, yes, Cyberpunk 2077. I've actually seen that game finally. Saw it on stream earlier today. There we go, different box sizes and stuff like that, you know, to make it look like a cluster of things. I don't think the player can really get in here, but I'll just double check. Oh, that was what I meant. I'm going to control F9. Yeah, so you got like all these different boxes on the side here, and the player can't really get in. Yep, that's fine. I guess there's a little tiny gap they can duck into here if they want to. I think I'll leave this here intentionally. This is fine, whatever. I may need to think about soft locks. Because there might be quite a few. Oh well, no worries. I'll fix that really easily. If we take this line def, make them impassable, that should solve the problem, I think. So, get rid of all that. So on the off chance that the player ends up yeeted onto here, they will not be able to get down. There you go. Nice, easy. I mean, they shouldn't be intentionally getting up here, but if they do, well, they can't get behind the boxes, so they'll be perfectly fine. There's no soft lock issues there. And then in the pit, I want to teleport to get them out. Oh, I could make it an inescapable pit. That is also an option. I could make it an inescapable death pit that kills them. This is also a thing I could do. I mean, would that be a bad thing, considering this is not a pit you would be able to access normally? Sort of thing. It's not like this. I mean, I'm not gonna have a lot. I'm not gonna really have any arch vials down here. I'm not putting arch vials everywhere for the big fight. I don't think I want to put vials in this kind of fight scenario. So really, unless you deliberately are trying to jump down the pit or something, I don't think you should be going in it anyway. So I think I could just make it a 20 damage pit that kills you. You know, it's not like it's a bit different if this was a pit like in the middle of the room where the player could fall into it during battle and kill them. It's a pit that you're not supposed to get into, really. So screw it, I'm gonna make this a death pit with lava. That might discourage them from going into the pit. Nah, I don't want. No, I don't really want the players to go in the pit. Why, Doomer? Also, hi. Now, could I put a mastermind on top? Should I put a mastermind on top? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have 4 rondo. The good thing about this setup is that now this corner of the room is filled in with the things that will be. I mean, if I wanted to, I could even just leave this as. Nah, I'm gonna have something come out the pit. This part of the room is now just really not. I suppose I could put the armors in this part of the room, couldn't I? A million cacos. That was the plan. That's really the plan. That's going to be a caco swarm that emerges. Yeah, guns of bodies doesn't sound like a bad idea, actually. Do I put anything on the side of this thing? Like, should I put supplies on the side or something? I should also make some of these boxes not all the same. Sort of just add a bit of variety among the crates. You know. There we go. Kind of wish there was a bit more crate variety, but this will do. Secret BFG. No. Not doing that. It's just decoration. Pure and simple. Again, I've made these impassable, so the player's not getting out. There's not going to be a BFG, and as far as I'm concerned, there's not going to be a plasma either. The main weapons will be chain gun and rockets. And a super shotgun if you found the secret in the initial fight room, but that's it. I'm not giving much ammo to that, because I want to encourage the player to use the rockets and the chain gun as well, which I want to incorporate into the fight design. Right, do I put stuff around here, or do I just leave as it is? I could put, like, armor, maybe? This could be, like, the armor area or something? Then again, I don't want to get. I don't want the player to actually bumble into the pit either. I suppose I could put the armor here. There could be like some armor stuff. Just 2 random armor things there, I guess. I mean, the player's gonna have 200 going into the fight. Maybe that could be like an area to go to if they want. Oh wait, no. Actually, I just realized the initial problem here is going to be that the Caco Swarm's going to block them. So no, I probably shouldn't do that. Yeah, maybe armor bonuses. I think that will be fine. Put a shitload of armor bonuses, sure. Let's do that. Alright, there we go. And then we can put the armor at the very end over here. And the green armor can be right there, like that. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Wait, no, actually, that would be really awkward to get around. Yeah, the pit's going to be inescapable. Actually, I could put the armors here, couldn't I? Like off to the side a little bit. Like at the end of these, I could put the armor like right next to the edge of them or something. Like that, so that... Yeah, I think that's fair. Put the armor like that on both sides, so the player may have a reason to go over there and get some armor. That works, I think. And that's it, really. Don't really want the player to be coming over here because there's things out here they're going to want to avoid. I just wanted to fill this corner of the room up so that there was something there, really. So we've got our ammo supplies on all the crushers sorted, I think, for now. So now we just need to fill the pit. Now we get to fill the pit with Caco Demons. Now the thing is, these Caco, it doesn't matter the angles of this because these Cacos are going to come out as soon as the player fires a shot. They're not gonna be, they're not gonna be ambush or anything. Oh shit, they're all set to ambush. No! Not ambush! Alright, let's see how this works out in practice, shall we? Da 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 da. Here come the cackles, so many cackles, aren't they annoying? And they'll probably get crushed. They'll probably get crushed quite a bit, to be honest, but they're still a threat. They are still scary. I'm not going to put pain elementals because there's already one fight that's going to trigger with them, so I don't need to do it again. Yeah. We have a lot of cacos coming out the pit. And they don't come out straight away either. In fact, some of them don't seem to come out at all. Because of infinite height, I guess, or something. So... Oh. Well, that's a bit awkward. They can't get out because of each other. Although I guess that means they're kind of more of a constant threat. You know? No weapons, no means of defense, just straight up run. Yeah, I mean, they'll come out eventually. You know? So that's kind of what this part of the room is like. Oh no, a caco swarm. Oh shit, that's... scary, and you just die down here if you end up. Yeah, I think that's enough. How many cacos are there anyway? 110. Perfect. Just leave it exactly as is. They are a sort of delayed threat that will emerge. Oh, the music stopped. Well, thank you for the Ancient Alien soundtrack. That was really good. What else can we listen to? We'll go to Sigil. I like the Sigil one. Can't go on with the Sigil track again. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing that to keep in mind. You know, the Crushers will kill some of them. You know, once the players overcome the initial final ambush, and sizable one would be, you know, the rest of the room isn't too difficult to deal with. I just want that big, massive fucking ambush. Your dumb song over and over. Well, it's a good thing you don't make any dumb songs, so that I won't be able to listen to it. Yeah, I think this is fair. I think the cacos, you know, they're going to provide a threat in terms of flying around. They're a nuisance. They don't come out straight away. They will fly in between the gaps. They might just die to Crushers very easily, but it gives that area of the room a threat, you know. You know, it keeps the... It's like, oh, I gotta deal with these flying cacos, and there's a lot of them, so better have all the ammo and shit. So I think that works perfectly. And I guess maybe on lower difficulties, again, I can just reduce the caco amount. Have a few less. So there's not as much, but it's nevertheless caco swarm created. With a nice pit for it. Oh yeah, I need to make this area a damage sector. You are going to damage all the health now. Damage minus 10 or 20% health? Okay. Is that the one? Damage minus 10 or 20% health? Yeah. Guess that's it. Yeah, there we go. Right. So that kind of also inflates the monster count quite a bit. 110 before we've even started placing any monsters that can attack the player immediately. But that's fine. The monster count is probably going to be quite intimidating at the beginning of this map. But it's all mainly concentrated in 2 rooms. Suits me fine. Okay, so this corner is done. There's armor over here if the player wishes to grab it, so that'll be an incentive for getting past the Gecko Swarm if you can. Otherwise, well, don't lose your Mega Spear too early. There's plenty of health. Right, so next thing. With that in mind, I can now place the 4 Cyber Demons in the corners of the room I'd like to do. Now, I don't think we need to have any more. We have 110 Sackos in the pit. I think 110 is enough. More than sufficient, really. Put a rad suit down there for trolling purposes. Just up the soundtrack a bit. What? Oh, you could do a rad suit, but it's pointless. That would be something, wouldn't it? You know, you fall down there, oh, there's a rad suit. But that would fuck up the 100%ers, wouldn't it? Nah, I don't want to do that. That's not a good idea, though, to be honest. Okay, do I make all this the same colour as well? Well, I guess I make that one because it matches that. Or whatever. Sorry, just thinking of changing some of the crate colours a bit to make it a bit more decorative. The only way I can, really. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. It's good. Okay. So now we have to put the 4 Cyber Demons next. The big 4 scary Cyber Demons. So these are going to be the rampaging pains in the arse you'll have to deal with. I probably should put some stuff in here, shouldn't I? Do you reckon Soul Spears would be a good fit for around the area here, maybe? Like 4 Soul Spears, perhaps? I think some Soul Spears would probably be a good idea. One in each corner of the room, so the player has an option to deal with them. Yeah, I don't think sunken crates would work too well. I don't think we'll do sunken crates. No, that doesn't work. No. I guess that works. And just use the top of that. Alright, I guess that works. As well fucking... Oop, no, don't do that. Just delete that one. There, how's that look? You got this four... I mean, it's very symmetrical, I'll grant you, but... I don't think there's any problem with that, is there? Maybe I should make it smaller, actually. This feels a bit too big. Yeah, I'll just make them a bit smaller. The actual platforms, I think. Yeah, that looks better. So then you got the 4 soul spears, and okay, it's symmetrical, it doesn't matter. The middle square of this room, of our Hollywood Squares thing here, is meant to be like the supply square, where it's all about getting any supplies you need to deal with the rest of the room. How far away do I put the cybers? Like right at the back of the room or closer in? I'm thinking maybe all the way at the back, to be honest. Actually, no, because I want some things at the far edges, don't I? So I want them to be like sort of close, but not all the way necessarily. Yeah, so yeah, the million health bonuses, of course. I will add those around other parts of the room. I need to create the rest of the room. So the basic gist is I want to keep this sort of mostly clear, because this is where the player's going to go most of the time to get to the other areas. As a supply. I want to keep this one mostly clear because this is where we can see the giant thing at the end. This one and this one need to be decorated quite a bit. This one needs a few extra things. This one probably needs not too much. And this one needs some extra stuff too. But not too much. So it's going to kind of be a cleanish room, but this and this need to be decorated nicely. And just few extra props on these 3. And that'll be it. To slowly create the final skirmish. So... do I put any monsters in the initial bit here, or should I allow the player to run around? So the idea here is that there's a lot of guys, but they're going to be easily killed, of course. It's just a nice initial cannon fodder that will be murdered, but might take a bit of damage off the player. with the backdrop of the cybers behind them for size comparison. You know, just a horde of extra. Also, they provide extra bullet ammo, but mainly just an easy, squishy sort of threat that the player can deal with. You know, but it also gives the illusion of a bit of a size. Yeah, that should be a fun group to rocky, but what I might also do is keep in mind all these monsters will have their backs turned to the player at this point. So they are meant to be like facing back away from the player's initial point. Hey Noiser, thanks for the follow. And then you have some chain gunners as well in the corners. I don't actually know about this actually. I'm not. No. I don't like this idea actually. I think the chain gunners are too much for this initial splash. No, not gonna do that. Yeah, so it's like fun to rock it, or you know, it's basically a slaughter thing. You know, the weaker enemies first for the player to kill, then the stronger enemies are behind. That's where the cybers are in the background. So why if you put an invis spear on the teleport destination? It would help with the hit scans, but it also make the cybers more dangerous. Forced invisibility. That would be something, wouldn't it? But yeah, good point. I guess it would add to the chaos, so let's do it. Let's dump a nice little invisibility right on top. Yes, good. And if the player chooses to wait it out, they can wait it out if they want. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, that also means I can put some that also means I can put some chain gunners down, actually. In fact, that is what I will do. With that change in mind, we will swap some of these out and make them chain gunners instead. Not all chain gunners, that'll be a bit too much, but let's just swap out every few of them for a chain gunner. So that there's a bit of a mixture among the horde a bit as well. Or whatever. Yeah, good idea, Johnny Mus. I'm gonna have to credit a lot of people if I can at the end of this, or just widely credit thanks to everyone who contributed in my. Yeah, I like this idea because now you've got two different types of enemies, and with the invisibility power up in play. The chain gunners being among the mix here, they're still relatively squishy to be fair. But it also means that the chain gunner barrage is a bit less bullshit. Oh, I love this a lot. And it also looks nice and colourful, having the extra chain gunners around. Yes, this I like. I don't want too many chain gunners, and on lower difficulties I can remove the chain gunners entirely, perhaps. Right. So that'll be a good initial splash of enemies, I think. A shitload of humans that the player just sort of sees. So Let's test something real quick. So the end of the room, Crusher starts. And look at what we see. A wall of death, but... Oh, and that's just... Okay, whatever. I guess they walk... As soon as they walk off the thing, it's invisibility time. Yeah, now you got the cybers in the background being sort of menacing. Maybe the cybers should be closer, actually, so the player can spot them, because they look like they might be a bit obscured. And there's a random pinky that just decided to show up. And a random pinky, okay. You stupid pinky. Get back in your crate maze. Which one is that? Whatever, I'll just leave it. You know, I'm gonna leave that. It could be like a little comic thing if the player notices it. That pinky is gonna stay like that. That could be like another little weird quirk. Or humorous thing or whatever. Yeah. I need to move the cybers closer, I think. Just because I want the player to be able to see them. So you cybers need to be a little closer. So that I want them to like be at the background, like overshadowing the size of the other monsters and whatnot. Which one was that? Which one's bloody doing it? You know what? I reckon it's this one. I'm gonna leave it intentionally. Right, let's... Yeah, that's better. They're a bit closer, and now they can see the cyber. That's a bit better, because now they stick out above height-wise, so you'll be, like, seeing them. And then... Then you got the Caco Swarm and the pit on the side, and you got 4 cybers. And then there's a... Yeah, there we go. I think this... I don't want to add too many more of these from humans. I think this is enough. Okay. So the cybers are close enough that they'll start being a threat, but you can also see them. Cool. Right. So... do I leave the rest of this area as is, as a simple clean slate sort of thing? That's a pretty creative yeah, it's basically the Rubik style setup where you teleport into an area and the player sees all the monsters they're about to deal with, so they can plan their strategy and attack. And then as soon as they shoot the first gun, it's... well, off they go. And because they die quickly, it means that the player will be able to get moving, but it just has that nice little blur. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add more monsters. This is just the initial area here. There's gonna be lots of other monsters, but these 4 are the roamers, so... Now, what do I put? Now I can start adding things to the other parts of the room. Let's focus on the things I've already established first. What do I want on these crates? The crates that are already here, that is. Yeah, don't worry, this isn't just gonna be it. It's not just gonna be these guys and the 4 cybers and that's it. No, 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 no. This is just the beginning. I don't think I'm getting this map done tonight, but I'm gonna slowly build up the room. We have a Caco bit now. We have a lovely Caco swarm pit. Manx on the L-shaped crates in the corner. Mancubus, yes. Mancubus would be a good damage thing. Put quite a few of them. Again, they will also have their backs turned to the player at the start. Ah, they got plenty of space. That's good. That gives them... Perfect. And we'll have maybe... Let's see... 8 up there should do it, I think. Maybe a 9th one in the corner. Okay, screw it. There's room for another. Pack it to the rafters, boys. Let's have as many as we can get away with. Let's bloat this monster count so the player feels really threatened. Because I love my big fights and I want them to appreciate this one. There we go. A packed house of Mancubi, who will also be a nice threat if you want that Mega Spear secret. Yay. Oh, I need to change this texture as well. I need to get the texture change on this little secret thing. I have to do change, yes. Change texture only. But how do I... What does it change the texture to, though, when it does that? Will it change it to the nearest floor or something? No, consider this. When I change the texture of a thing, what does it actually change it to? Like, I assume it will change it to the nearest floor that's next to it or something. Hey, Carmitage. Right? Because I kind of want this to change to blood when it lowers down. Yeah, I guess let's find out, shall we? $539 monsters we're now up to. Ah, yeah. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. That solves that mystery. Changes to the nearest floor, or the floor that it matches. Great. We now have 539 monsters already. Oh boy, this is going to be great. I'm going to have like 1,000 monsters on the map, and players are going to be like, oh god, what is Suitepee doing us with? The big box fights. That's what. Right, so Mancubus over here. Cool. Right, what should we have on this wall? Hell Knights, maybe? Group of Hell Knights, perhaps? It's a pretty good wall. Barons. Just straight up barons. Yeah, sure, why not? Want some barons, fuck it. One imp. One imp. Just in the middle of them all. Move over. So I need to change it to 8 grid for a second. No, 8 grid. One imp. The imp is the battalion. Yeah, that's kind of funny having the imp just there like that. Well, I guess the idea is that they're just an annoyingly tanky wall of projectiles. But also, they might end up infighting the Cyber Demons, so whatever. I think it works okay. And adds an extra threat if you try and go over to this area with the Hell Knights and stuff. Make the imp face the other way. No, I don't want him to face the other way. Because then that will attack you. And then it will probably attack... What? So, the imp faces the incorrect way and... Like... It could be used as a fight trigger or something? Actually... I wonder... Oh. Oh, this is a bit of a problem. Wait, this is supposed to be a sound blocker. Oh. The windows are impassable. Oh. Well, this is awkward. I have made this. Oh. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we can't do that. Unless we want to just have a group of... I mean, Jesus Christ, they're going to be visible from way up here, actually. Could be an interesting threat. I mean, the rocket splash would probably damage the ambushes down here if the player chose to engage with them, but... Possible solution, you can just teleport them on after the player enters the big marble room. Yeah, or we just leave it blank and we just don't use that area. We don't have to use this one for the barons, though. We could have them on a lower thing down here and just leave that blank. Or we have them there. I mean, it's just... I don't know. Would the barons serve any purpose of being just up there like that, visible right from here? You can remove the sound propagation from the crate sector. It's definitely an intimidating thing to see as you go up the lift, a group of barons in the way, but because I had this careful ambush plan down here, it would ruin it if infinite height damage could have killed them or something. Maybe we should just remove them. Easier solution, raise the baron platform and lower it once player enters the final fight. Nah, easier solution is to have this happen but one step down. And just don't put them up here. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll keep that as is, as a nice scenic thing. We'll have you all there. Delete them. And then we will create another section down here. Another crate wall that the guys can be on that's here. Behind it. And then just put them on here instead. As our little group of death. And the imp can still be on the platform and still be the leader. Yeah, this works out okay. Need to just make sure there's enough room for them. Yeah, there we go. Now we have our wall of barons and the player won't see them. Let's try what I was going to do before. Yeah, player won't be able to trigger them early or whatever. All good. The imp can't actually do anything. Oh wait, yeah, he can. Oh wow. That imp actually creates a rather interesting side to this fight. Because it's more likely going to hit the cyber demon, it might trigger it early. Like, that one little imp starts all this. So perhaps if the player's taking their time deciding what to do, maybe the imp will create a path. This cyber gets triggered and then suddenly you got this going on. It's like, oh right, I can go this way. I guess. Yeah, that little imp just creates a little interesting dynamic to the whole thing. You know, just sort of have it be the only enemy that's facing the correct way, Oh, it's that mischievous little imp that just caused an infight. That's why you want the cybers dead, you see. Or have to deal with them. Otherwise, you can't get up these platforms. And obviously the paint elementals would be there normally to add to the fight. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because he's right in the way of the cyber, so maybe he hits the cyber carves a path for you, and it's like, we can go this way perhaps. If the player chooses to do that. Alright. That works for that. Leave the top empty. I guess now we have to add some stuff here. Probably nothing too complicated since this is a simple path really. So I'll probably just put some imps here, I think. Just some imps facing away from the player. Nothing too complicated. There's going to be enough going on in the room. So we'll just put a few imps there. Just to add to the room. Oh, the music stopped again. Okay. Oh, here's a Quake 2 soundtrack. This will do. Snares down. Alright, Kitty Cross, thanks for being around. Have fun. Yeah, I don't think we need to have anything too massively sort of beefy up here. Let the player get up if they need to. Although here, maybe we could put a Hell Knight or two. Just to mix it up a bit. This could be a Hell Knight thing with a imp in the middle. Or two. Or three. Whatever, or four. And then that's fine. I'm not putting anything on top of this because I don't want Infinite Height to ruin the Kako ambush. Now that I think about it, why do I have a Kako ambush when I have a Kako swarm? Because I can. Yeah, it's just like, oh, these are slightly in the way, and then... You know, probably get killed quite quickly. Got a couple of Hell Knights here on the beefier platform, so they're a lot more of a pest to deal with. Obviously, I won't make them Barons. I think Hell Knights will be enough there. And then it's just a simple rise to the top. Maybe make these two Revenants. Put the Revenants at the back here. Gotta have. I don't want too many. I don't know if I want too many Revenants. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm gonna have Revenants somewhere. Just to mix it up the enemies on the platforms a bit, you know. Hell Knights here, Revs there. Just something that's a bit beefy and whatever. Okay. What else? What other parts of the room do I need to add things to? The back wall here, maybe? Should I put enemies on these crates? And if so, which ones? Ooh. I know what we could do. Nah, not chain gunners. How about revs? And with that in mind, I'm going to change these to something else. Because now they are bloated over here. I need some... Yeah, I'll just leave it as imps, I think. We don't need this to be too complicated. The Hell Knights there should be enough. There we go. And for extra pain, this is now a wall of revs too. The thing is, though, in case someone's going to say, what? You put Revenant snipers in positions where the player can't kill them? Well, one, the Crusher's going to negate a good chunk of the revs. Two, the revs are going to infight the Cacodemons, probably. And more likely create more chaos, which is more fun to see. It's almost starting to turn into like the incompetent demon factory. That cheeky imp infights and everything dies before the player even has to do anything. Maybe I could do that. Like, maybe if I like extend this room out or something, and then have a little optional fire blue thing at the end. Yeah, that could work. Maybe. Oh yeah, or maybe it could be somewhere in the map. Like a hidden thing or something that like kills them. Yeah, it shouldn't be hard. That being said, it won't be. They are in reach. It's just that they'll be mainly blocked by the Cacos and the Crusher. Once everything's dead, you should be able to kill them all, I think. I think they're in range of the auto aim, so should be alright. They'll be annoying, but they won't be massively threatening. Long range, that is. Due to the Crushers, nothing's really going to be a threat long range unless it's a very lucky shot. So yeah, that works. Okay, so we've now filled all the walls from the fighty segments. Now I just need to fill these 3 areas up. And maybe this one. What the bloody hell am I going to put for the rest of this? Just trying to think how to lay out the rest of the enemies at this point. I have 4 wandering cybers, sorry. But... Boop, 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 boop. I've got this area of the room that's kind of cut off. This area that's cut off. That area is mostly just a tower with some stuff on it. Yeah, I think that works to keep this part of the room shut off a bit. Also means that the player is... Oh, actually, as an extra effect, it also means that the player doesn't have infinite range distance to snipe these guys. because now both sides are fairly covered up, sort of thing, you know. So even if they do try and kill them, they're still going to have to lure them out. So as a side effect of doubling these areas off, this ambush is now more effective. Because they can't just go over to this corner and kill it or whatever. They gotta sort of back out or whatever. I think what I will do here is I will place a box of shells in this little corner over here. It's not a secret per se, but if you have the super shotgun, there's a bit of ammo for you. It also makes the room a bit smaller, but gives it a bit of depth, you know. More crates. Remember, this was once a warehouse. Everything is going to be boxes. Boxes, silvery stuff, and more boxes. You know, it's meant to be the contrast, the hell background with the warehousey. Yeah, I might add a few more. I think it's not really a secret either. I'm not going to call that a secret. It's just a little thing off to the side you might notice. And if the player picks it up and goes, oh, what are these shells for, I wonder? Well, if you have the super shotgun, you'd just find out. Right, anyway, now I've created this area. Do I put things on top of this one? And if so, what? What should I stick on top? No, not a normal shotty, I don't think. Well, no, you reckon I could put the normal shotgun in the corner like that, just over here? So that if they want it, it's there for them. I could do that. It's a good enough corner to have one. Alright, screw it. You go away. I'm going to put a shotgun here instead. So yeah, we'll give you the shotgun in this corner next to a dead Marine decoration. So you got a dead player down here on the shotgun, so that, you know, that works. Dead Marine in the corner with the shotgun. Cool. I like that. That way the player also gets the shotgun if they really want it. Works for me. Gonna look a tad weird being in the wall, but that's a sprite thing. I can't do anything about that. That's fine. Okay, yeah. So if the player wants the regular shotgun, just go in this corner here as you're dealing with these guys, and there you go. You can have it. Congrats. You have a regular shotgun. And you can get the super shotgun too. Okay. So this has actually made this area a bit small, which is great. I need to do a few more things like that, possibly. So let's just try and focus on one bit at a time, so I'm jumping around all over the place. Do I put anything up here? Or can I just make this decoration and stuff? I don't necessarily have to make every pillar have a monster on it. This is going to get rather bloated, actually, quite quickly. I could perhaps just show a bit of restraint and just not have anything really up here in this corner. So what could really be adding to this? We've got the Revs and Cacos here. We've got Mancubi over here. More imps. Way more imps, you reckon? No. Too. Maybe we could add a firewood crusher on him. Yeah, we may have to experiment with that. Like, now, actually. Alright, gee, calm down, buddy. Yeah, you're right. A few at the back can't be reached. Although infinite height splash damage helps. Okay, yeah, they can actually be killed with splash damage. Or a monster will probably kill them. Because with the normal boom compatibility, all of them can be killed with splash damage. Yeah. Hey, anonymous squirrel, do a Rivix map. Hang on, there you go, eh? Yeah, okay, so although a few of the revs at the far back are a little hard to get to, they can be killed with splash damage. And most likely they will be infighting stuff and getting killed anyway. So that shouldn't be a problem, since this will be set to boom strict, and which means infinite splash, which means, and if not, well, infight, do whatever. No. So, and there's Jamcat. Hey, Anonymous Squirrel, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Okay. So getting back to this, more imps, you reckon? Guess that could work. More imps. Yeah, lots of imps. But as an interesting little twist, we'll throw in 2 Archviles as well at the top. There is plenty of cover around this area. Oh, Archie's changed that significantly. Yeah, just 2 Archviles up there. I think just 2, not any more than that. I mean, there's plenty of cover and stuff, but I think it's a good idea to mix it up because, you know, they'll be easily killed by a few rockets, but they also provide some a different threat to this area. Again, there's loads of cover and stuff, so they're not like cheap or anything. I would have thought. And there's only 2 of them. So get rid of them and keep going. And I can remove them on lower difficulties again. I think that's working out okay. I think. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty happy with this corner of the room as well, I figure. I don't know if there needs to be any ambush enemies in the corners here or something. There could be a few. Okay, why not? Have a few ambush enemies in the corners. Just to be a ball ache. Just come steaming out wherever. Yeah, maybe a couple of ambush pinkies just to be annoying. Act as infinite height blockers to some extent and just be annoying pains in the arse, perhaps. I don't know. Well, I guess it also would prevent the player from getting straight up immediately if they try and speed run up, because they have to trigger the ambushes. So yeah, that works. And again, they're not too hard to deal with. Just a rocket or an SSG or a few chain guns away. Okay. That's that corner sorted. Do I have anything else to... I need to add some more stuff. Yeah, this corner looks a lot more populated now. I do like it. Let's fuck with the alignment just a little more. Let's add some ceiling height variation to this area, to this area. Let's add some ceiling height to this area. Then we'll make it silvery or something and it will fit or whatever. Different kind of mob. Oh god, that's going to cause all kinds of alignment issues. Unless I do that. And now it's... Alright, whatever. Maybe I'm going to have to change some of this. But I like this idea of a ceiling height variant too. I really do. I'll just change the textures or something. That'll work. But what to exactly? I think it's gonna be tech-basy. Grey. Make it grey. Wait, no. Shouldn't be grey. It should be hellish. Go back to hell. Stuff. Oh. Oh, that would be cool, actually. Can we, lower it enough so it works? Ah, that's how much I have to lower it? Holy shit. Oh, that was so good, though. Is that high enough? Does that work like that? It's a very narrow height, but there's all the enemies. Does that work like that? Let's see. I'm not convinced. Yeah, they can attack. Yeah, I guess it works. Alright, whatever. You have 2 archviles who are kind of sneakily clustered amongst some imps now. Yeah, and they stick out like a sore thumb. So it's not like you're gonna not be able to. That's the thing of it. You can spot the Archviles easily. They stand out. So the location is obvious. They're a bit sort of congested in there. Maybe I should kill a few imps to give them some movement, but I think they blend in nicely. In fact, I could have some more. I like the idea of them just being clustered among, but maybe give them some initial space, perhaps. To give them a bit of... Give them some space, boys. Want them to breathe a bit. Or whatever. So that they have a bit more room initially. No! I ended up making a slaughter map, Scotty. I ended up making a big fight room. Which I guess is the same thing, except this isn't meant to be extremely devious and punishing. Okay, fine, I end up making a slaughter map. Keep in mind they can attack you from behind. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a little annoying, but... I just like the idea of them being up there, though, because it adds an extra... I mean, there's only 2 of them. You have a rocket launcher. You go in with 200. They probably won't be sniping you from over here. And once you know where they are, you can easily get rid of them. Mostly, and there's plenty of cover behind here. And because they are tall among the smaller enemies, they stand out and are easy to spot. And what I also do is if I make the... I need to make the... I need to change this texture up to make them stand out more. So let's make it... We could make it just Bloodfall, couldn't we? No, wait, it doesn't seem right. How about something different? Like... Maybe red crackly wall? No, that doesn't seem to be right. Could make it a skin tech, but... Oh, actually, I know what I could do. I know what I could do. Maybe. No, I have a better idea. Da 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 da. Oh, wrong one. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Okay, let's not do that again. Do 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 do. Oh, too far. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Quake 2 OST is also really good. Who'd have thought? Sure call, right? And then what we do is we kill the brightness to 0. Oh look, it's a dark, mysterious void again! Which really looks weird, but sure. Now the Archviles stand out even more in that area. Now how's this gonna work? The answer, really fucking good, I think. No, that darkness is intentional. It makes them stand out, you see. Dark background, light-skinned enemy. It's a dark area, sort of thing. It looks a bit weird. Looks like they're coming from the darkness a bit, and there they are. I'm just trying to help the Archviles stand out a bit. I mean, they're infighting half the time anyway, so just 2 up there will be sufficient to be a bit of a threat. You'll kill them, most likely you'll spot them, kill them, and then move on. That's it. Threat over. I guess there might be a homo there, but actually I don't think there is. Wait, where did you come from? Where the bloody hell did you show up from? What? Oh, okay. I thought it might have been one of those over from this area, like maybe a rock. Oh, these are just fine. Okay. He just got knocked off. Yeah, that looks really cool. It's not the greatest implementation of that effect, but I think it looks nice. Yeah, we'll make it impassable. Do I have to flip the line depths to make this work, or is it fine as this? No. Leave it. Make it RNG, that one might fall off. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Guess that could work. I mean, more than likely the player is just going to rocket them and move forward. That's why I've only put 2 up there. I think if I had 4 or too many, then it becomes a bit of a dickish area. I really want to add 2 more though, because it seems like half the time these guys are just sort of squashed in. Change. No. I want to add 2 more. I really want more vials up here now, because screw it, I'm adding 2 more. I don't think the imposition matters, because the archvials get squashed anyway once the fight starts. Yeah, delete one of these, replace it with an archvile that faces that way. Ah, jeez, I gotta make it 8. Oh, maybe a 3rd one in the corner. That'll be alright. Maybe just 3. Yeah, okay, 3 will do. I'll settle for 3. That's fair enough. And I mean, it's a really crappy looking darkness area, but I like it. We have established the previous of the darkness with this bit here, so it's just more of that, and it adds a nice decoration to the room, and it makes it look a bit more, well, you know, hellish, shall we say. It makes it look a bit more hellish. Do I need to add a little thing in the corners of this one to support it? Light fade staircases are always a winner. Yeah. I think because it's darkness it's switching to, although I think it is fine just to be like that, to be honest. I'm not so sure I need to add an extra sort of thing to the sides of this new platform I've constructed. So I'm going to leave that, I think, for now. We might review that when we come to the detailing part. I love this. Darkness. Oh man, I'm gonna make a map. If I ever make another map, I want to play with light and darkness next time. Like, quite a bit. Anyway. So this area is now full. This area is now done as far as I'm concerned. We have more than enough going on, and that's before the 8 pain elementals that will be added upon climbing the tower. Nothing else needs to be added to this section. Nothing else needs to be added to this section. Nothing else needs to be added to this section. Okay, what about this section? This corner. And then we can just focus on the 4 corners of the room. We're getting there, but probably not tonight. We'll probably have to wrap this up on tomorrow's mapping stream, but we are getting there at least. I wonder if I should do a quick run for the whole thing and see how this plays out. Even at this stage. Nah, I won't really get a feel for it. Let's just do one more area and then we'll do a test run. Okay, so what should I add over here then? I've got the Baron ambush going on here. We've got the secret Mega Spear. Okay, I guess we'll test it a little bit, whatever. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, well, I'm dead. Whoa, 676 monsters. That's what the player's going to see at the beginning of the map, a very intimidating high number. And about 2/3 of them are in one room. Here definitely makes this fight a bit more interesting, I think. Yeah, that rev definitely contributes. I mean, I know it feels very slaughter mappy in the final room, but I do like my big fight areas. Always have. I need more arachnotrons in cages. It's definitely something I need to add in the final room. More arachnotrons in cages, I think. Hey, Durandroid, how you doing? We are just testing where my map's up to. Manx and the racks are more effective in wide open areas. Well, there's certainly some wide open areas for them to engage with. This fight is so good, I think. I'll be curious to see what the experienced, if any experienced players play this think of these fights. This one, I mean, this one is basically a God Spear countdown, but I kind of like... I wonder if I should add some brightness to these switches, because I just realized in this darkness, they don't stick out too much. I think I might have to make those sectors brighter. Oh, absolutely. This will be on Doom World as soon as it's ready. 100%. That looks so cool. 4 minutes, half minutes going into this area. Oops. Careful. Careful, me. $217 kill. Oh, crap. Oh, for crying out loud. How are you still alive? You fucking... Get out of here. No, really. You're lost. Yeah, just coming on shy of 6 minutes upon entering the room. There's the Kako Oh wow, a few rounds do actually get the rockets through, but it's not a massive amount. Just don't go in that corner of the room or else you will be squished and trapped. Gotcha. Wait, didn't I have butter mode on? Oh, now I do. I think I might have made this a touch too difficult. Maybe. Well, no, actually, I think my mistake is trying to go for... Nah, I don't know. I mean, it is a bit brutal to start with, but it kind of evens out eventually. And here's some pain elementals to add a bit of interesting mix. Oh wow, those Rev rockets actually do kind of fall around a bit more than I thought, on occasion. And there is a cyber demon here for some reason. Okay, I would have died once without the cheat. Well, I died once anyway. So... I think I'm happy with these vials being as they are. They might get the occasional cheap pop in, but I'm going to add some more cover around these areas, which will alleviate with that problem. There will be some bits of cover, maybe a few pillars. I might create a few pillars just to mix it up a bit, specifically for the arch vials here, so that the player has a ducking option. I'm pretty happy with how this Kako Swarm essentially denies this area off to the player. And I do like how the revs are a threat on the pillars. I mean, they are a bit annoying when some of them do chase you down, but they're not a massive constant thing, and they are infighting a lot. This wall is fine. I think the Crusher actually adds a bit of different. I thought the Crusher would make this room too easy, but actually no. It actually keeps the room kind of interesting, as opposed to what it would be like if it was just like this with no Crushers. It means that you can't sort of snipe enemies constantly. Would I consider making the pillar textures stationary? What do you mean, these ones? No arch valves on the ground. I'm not having that. There will be enough arch valves around as is. There's 3 up here in this corner. If you trigger this area and run away, there's an extra 2 that come out. Yeah, the Crusher really kind of makes this interesting because there's plenty of cover for the player to deal with in bursts, but there's also plenty of, like, the room is, you can't move around too freely and you have to be mindful of it. No, I haven't decided on it, Duran Schwartz. I will decide on the music at the, the polishing stage, when I sort of like adjust the difficulty, select the music track, name the map, set some par times, etc. I was contemplating possibly going for a MIDI of Donkey Kong Country's Fear Factory, which I would play on stream, but I don't know if Nintendo would make it a problem with the DMCA or not. That's one that sprung to mind immediately because that's fear for actually this is a warehouse and whatnot. Toxic mini. No. It would have to be something that captures the atmosphere of the map pretty well. Anyway, sorry, I've just realised that run did give me something to address, and that's fixing these. I need to make this area brighter because the switches aren't sticking out enough, so I'm going to increase the brightness of both of these to 160, I think. Because they didn't stick out in the darkness and it sort of blended in a bit. I'm just going to test that real quick. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Because before, the switches were like blending into the darkness a bit. And now they stick out, which is what I want them to do. I don't want them to be like subtly digging in. So that's good. Now the switches. No, I'm happy for them to be bright, said Animus. I mean, the player's going to have a real hard time speed running out of his room when there's arch valves and revs on them. They're going to have to at least kill some of the room off. Yeah, the rest of the sector's flashing. It just seemed that before they were, with the fog, they were blending into the background, so players might not spot that immediately. So that's a nice little fix we've discovered. But yeah, the Cackle Swarm really does deny this area, adds a threat that stays throughout most of the map, and keeps the Revenants in check from being too annoying because they'll infight quite a bit. So this Cackle Swarm is nice. Essentially keeps the player to a... It also means the room isn't a giant square in essence. It means there's all kinds of things in the way. As you do. Right. What time are we on? Ooh, 10 o'clock. I think it's time to wind this. I think it's time to wind down, I think. So we've done quite a bit. Still got to sort of tweak the big free areas of the room here, but note your last comment. It's been in GZ Doom viewers for years, vanilla. Let's get Jimmy and Nihil to copy up some music. Yeah, that would be ridiculous. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Jimmy to make a track just for me. For my weird map. Do I ever showcase people's WODs? Yeah, I do one playtest stream a month as of recent. I have done a lot of playtest streams in the past. I do play a lot of different WODs. I could pay him to make one. Does Jimmy do those kind of commissions? And even if I did, I have no idea what I'd ask him to do. What would I ask? Hey, Jimmy, see this map? I kind of want something that's like... Oh, that would be crazy. A custom Jimmy MIDI for my own map? Well, I'll look into that. I'll have to... Also, if that was the case, that would delay the map's release. Otherwise, I was going to add it later or something. I'll consider that when we come to that point, Turn, okay? I mean, that would be... If I can pay Jimmy to make a MIDI, that would be cool, I guess. I just have no idea what I'd go for. But yeah, I definitely showcase other people's WODs. Playtesting streams, I do play over Doom WODs. I've got a bit of a personal list to get through. I'm also thinking of reopening my Doom WOD request for next year. Alright, so... Yeah, alright. Our 10th backup. Holy shit. We're to double figures in backups now. So yeah, looks like we've done quite a bit tonight. We have started the process of, we've finally sorted this area out, this final sector of the 4 blocks. We have started the process of creating the big initial skirmish of this final room. We've placed the cybers. We've made this area a bit more interesting. We've added some enemies on all these sections. We've created a fucking pit. Sounds fun, Anonymous. Yeah, we know you almost cursed someone out on stream. We know now his feelings on Iron Man. So we're taking a break from the community. So the Iron Man League will be in different hands next year, I suppose. I got a little upset because I thought I'd kicked Nars out of the community, but I haven't. He was contemplating it anyway, thankfully. And we are getting there very, very timely. So all that remains to be done is to fill these areas with things, a few more things. Make sure we have sufficient health. I think we're going to need to add some more health supplies around the map here. I think it's nice that this central area is a good hub point, but I think we're going to need to be a bit more generous around some of the outskirts eventually as well. No, we're not doing archviles. That's not the plan. Look, I'm not turning this into a slaughter map. It's just an area that's quite... Well, I kind of am, honestly, but not a hard one. No, we're not doing archviles. We have enough archviles. So really, with any luck, tomorrow maybe I'll finally crack this room wide open. We've only got 5 areas to really sort of plug in at this point. So, all's good. Oh, how convenient. The Quake 2 soundtrack's about to come to an end. So that's handy. Might as well let it run its course in that case. Right. Nah, I'll think about a mastermind. I think, though, given how the run went just before, the cybers are enough. I don't think we need a mastermind. I agree we got the room for one. We could do one that's based around a mastermind, perhaps. Maybe. But I think the cybers themselves are a big enough annoyance. I mean, the one thing I certainly wasn't trying to do in that run was kill the cybers. So, I mean, the cybers, I think 2 of the cybers died to infighting at one point, so... Yeah. Yeah, imagine there's room in Doom Eternal. 4 tyrants. Make the cyber at the exit side of the room the mastermind as a possible obstruction. Yeah, I could do that. I'll think of some ideas tomorrow. So I will be doing another mapping stream tomorrow. Hopefully we will finally get this room done, because once this room's finished and tested sufficiently, we can then move on to the fine polishing part, which I'm looking forward to getting to, because that means we're almost done with the map. Well, great, you do that, Anonymous Squirrel. You edit it and add archviles, make a slaughter version, and do what you want. It means it'll be time to detail all the different crates. Have fun with that. Anyway, that's the end of the stream for tonight, so thank you all for watching. Thanks for your input and help throughout tonight's process, and I'll be back tomorrow for more, with the great hope of completing that final room. Have a good night, everybody.